and gentlemen, I take pride in introducing the greatest show on earth.
Hi, everybody. This is Scott Gordon, and welcome to the Uncle Floyd podcast number 77. It's 2 p.m. on Friday, June 12th, 2026, and I'm sitting in the studio just waiting to answer questions from you guys. I got a whole bunch, and this is going to be a fairly longer podcast than usual because of a few things I want to add in. And we're going to have a great time. Going to have some music by Uncle Floyd. Going to have some comedy. I'm going to have a lot of questions being answered. So let's sit back, relax, and listen to the Uncle Floyd theme as played by the Vivino Brothers Band with Uncle Floyd on piano. And I'll be back to you in just a few seconds. And as a reminder, you can send questions in like all these good people did by emailing them to ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. That's ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. That will bring them right to me, and I will print them right out. And you guys will get to hear the answers on the next The Uncle Floyd podcast. So, here we go. Let's get into some questions right away. We're going to have some fun today. From Eddie McGarry. Hey, Scott, thanks as usual for the great show last night. I was talking about our Tuesday night show, the live stream, which is every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every Tuesday night at 8, we got a date at theunclefloydshow.tv. He wanted to ask, though, what was the song that Rocky Rock and Roll sang? Sounded like Floyd's vocals. Any details? Thanks very much. Yes, Eddie, that was Floyd. That was Floyd and the Vivino Brothers Band. It was one of the Bioya singles. It was Bioya number 604, side B. And I'll tell you what, we'll close out the show today with that song. So we can hear it again. And you can hear it listening, knowing that it was actually Floyd singing it. If I remember correctly, I think Jimmy wrote that. I think Jimmy Vivino wrote that. Or maybe Floyd wrote it. I'm not sure. From Todd Walker. I remember that Drake's Cakes was a sponsor on the Uncle Floyd Show back in 1981. They're the only well-known regional sponsor of the show, along with Crazy Eddie. How did Drake's Cakes and Crazy Eddie get to be sponsors of the show? Drake's was a little bit more than a sponsor, okay? They were not only a sponsor, but they were the brought to you by. That was a banner at the beginning of every show. We actually had Ducky Drake on, guy in a Drake duck costume, or a goose, or whatever he was. Drake's Cakes was brought in by the station, by Wometco. They brought in both Drake's Cakes and Crazy Eddie. They had connections with the people who do the advertising, the agencies, and they brought them in. That's how we got them. That was just before syndication. From Mike Optenacher. Musicians will tell you the best stuff never makes it to tape. It's the jams that arise spontaneously that are great. Yeah, Mike, that is absolutely true. As a matter of fact, one of the things you can point that out with is the first Chester and Lester album with Chet Atkins and Les Paul. It was a Grammy-winning album. It won a Grammy that year. Chet was not too happy with what was going on, and he really didn't want to do it. But, you know, it was one of those things where he got a chance to sit with Les Paul and talk. And all he wanted to do was talk. He didn't want to play. But Les said, come on, we're in the studio. Here's a guitar. You know, let's just jam a little bit, jam on a couple of tunes. Les told the engineers to record everything, which they did. They recorded everything. And at the end of the jam session, Chet says to Les, this is pretty good. We should actually do this album. He says, what do you mean we should do this album? We did it. And that's what was released. So, continuing from Mike, same true of the Uncle Floyd show? Was there great stuff happening during the breaks and lunches? Believe it or not, we were usually pretty serious during the breaks and lunches, except for Muggsy, who played practical jokes on everybody. During those breaks, we discussed what we were going to do. Now, when we had an audience at New Jersey Network, we used to sit back and relax and have fun with the audience. While the setups were being done, while things were being discussed by the people who were going to be in the sketch, other members of the cast would entertain the audience and keep them busy. And that was it. Very little was done other than that. From Charlotte Quinn, I love the skit with Deacon Jim and Floyd when Floyd, Brother Billy Bobby Booper, was shocked by his ad-libbing. That moment in particular was hysterical. So what's the backstory on Deacon Jim, Charlie Stoddard? How did he become a cast member? Was that skit really the first time he ad-libbed in a skit? I also love him in the polka band. What a goofball. Were there any moments with Charlie that still stand out to you? Charlie was a lot of fun to work with, a very, very talented musician. He was the new guy for the longest time until Michael Townsend Wright joined the cast. He was a little nervous at the beginning for doing ad-libs. He tried to stay straight. As a musician, he was pretty much, let's play the tune. Eventually, he loosened up, and that was when he really broke loose, that particular sketch. That's why I enjoyed doing it. And as far as his backstory is concerned, just go back in the list of the podcasts here on YouTube or wherever you listen to it. They should all be listed. And find the one that featured Charlie Stoddard. Charlie actually did one of the podcasts. So if you go back in the listing of the podcast, you will find one of these that I did with Charlie Stoddard. He gets into how he joined the crew and everything else. Charlotte, you have another question? Why is it when I do an internet search on Deacon Jim's character, AI says it was played by Jim Monaco? Was there more than one crew member who played Deacon Jim? No, Charlie was the only one who played Deacon Jim. So AI is very obviously drunk as usual. From Bucky Blar, from Buffalo, seen as RT Buck when we do the live stream on Tuesday night. When skits involve getting messy, pies, Eddie Slabo, etc., was there a shower in the studio or did you guys have to wash up in the bathroom? When we were at the Whisk Scissor building, that was WWHT during syndication and just before, while Channel 68 was doing the show, there was a shower. There were dressing rooms downstairs, and they had a shower. And that's where we washed up after we got really, really sloppy. Every other station, we had to use the bathrooms. He says, I was curious because I know you guys probably recorded more than one show in the studios per recording. Yeah, we did 5. Minimum 5 shows every time we were in the studio. So we had to look cleaned up for each show. Well, sometimes not that much. Not as cleaned up as you would think we would look. Sometimes had a little bit of a problem with that, getting really clean. So I don't know what to tell you on that one. Let's see. I had lunch with Dennis DeLeo the other day. We went out for some pizza. And we were talking about some of the stuff that I did outside the Uncle Floyd show. One of those being a radio show in the 90s called Remember When, with a partner named Rogue, who was very funny. She was really hysterical. We did a lot of stuff. We recorded, obviously, for the radio show. And he said, I really enjoyed the one that you played on the air, on the podcast. I said, well, there's several of those. He says, really? Play another one. Okay, so this is episode 2 of Interstellar Adventure with Gordon and Rogue from the Remember When radio show in the 1990s. Stand by and we'll be back with more Uncle Floyd show stuff. This is just for fun.
Captain's Log, Supplemental. Captain Timothy Kirkwell Sagan reporting. First Officer Spurt and I have completed our mission in cardiac space and expect to rendezvous with the Andromeda in another 3 hours. I've had the shuttlecraft, the Hesperus, on cruise control. I was just ready to take a nap when my first officer gave me some disquieting news. Naturally, I reacted as any true leader would. What do you mean we're lost?
According to the stellar chart on my console, we are 4 light years past the rendezvous point.
You had the map. Why didn't you tell me back there?
Commander Sagan, I did tell you. I had an entire route punched into the automatic pilot. You chose to go on manual and race that Krang freighter. That is when we missed the turnoff.
So now, 4 light years later, you tell me we're lost in space.
Nonsense. We are interstellar adventure. We may be lame, but we have not hit bottom yet.
No, I mean, can we get back on track? We're supposed to rendezvous with the Andromeda in 3 hours.
From this heading, we will have to go all the way around the Orson Welles asteroid belt.
That's a big belt.
Or we can turn around and go back the way we came. Unfortunately, if we do that, we will be intercepted by the Krang freighter.
Do you think they'll cause trouble?
You really should not have given them that odd one-fingered salute. You told me that it was a traditional Terran farewell gesture. Well, maybe it means something different to the Krang.
I think they understood it all right.
I have it. There is a way station at the 4th planet in Sector 250624. We can get directions. There may be a wormhole or some other shortcut back to the Andromeda.
No way! I'm not stopping to ask for directions.
Why not? Logic dictates that we need assistance locating the quickest available route back.
No! Earthmen do not ask for directions.
But that is ridiculous. On Aphrodisia...
I don't care how you do things on Aphrodisia, mister. I am the captain, and we do things my way.
Doing things your way got us lost in the first place, as I recall.
Are you talking mutiny, Spurt?
No, I was talking cold, hard facts. I read the stellar chart, had everything mapped out for you, and you had to drag race the Krang and miss our coordinates by 4 light years. I suggest, as your first officer, that we get assistance, and you refuse to stop. I just cannot fathom you Terran males.
Oh, Spurt, don't do that. It's very distracting.
Do what? I sighed.
It's your aphrodisiac physiology. It's distracting. Everything bounced like mountains of jello.
Do not start that again.
Damn it, Spurt. It's just that you're so intensely female.
That is not what Dr. McCorduroy says. I believe he does not like me.
He's an old man. I'm young and vital. Do you realize that this is the 2nd episode and I still haven't had a romantic encounter?
With another humanoid, you mean? Captain Sagan, you are invading my personal space.
What do you say, Spurt? It could be hours before the Andromeda comes looking for us.
I say that the stress of getting lost has made you irrational.
Ow! I'm not irrational, I'm Horn! Ow! Where did that come from?
Look, I will ask for directions at the way station. That way your Terran male pride can stay intact and we can get back to the ship soon.
Ow! That really hurts, Spurt. I had no idea you aphrodisiacs used those things defensively.
Aphrodisians. And you would learn to be defensive too if you had huge pointed...
This is the Andromeda hailing the Hesperus. Tim, are you there?
McCorduroy! Yes, I'm here, but what is the Andromeda doing in Sector 250624?
Waiting for the break of day? No, we stopped off at the way station for some Syntho burgers and Frankie fries. Zulu picked you up on the scanner. You were way off course and... Tim, your face is all bruised. What in Hubble happened out there?
We got cut off by a crank freighter and hit some rough energy fields. That's how Spurt's tunic got ripped too.
Yes, it was very turbulent.
Uh-huh. Tim, you'll get straight to sickbay as soon as you dock. By the way, Spurt. McCorduroy out.
He gave me the Terran one-fingered farewell gesture. Maybe he is beginning to warm up to me.
Tune in to the next exciting interstellar adventure when we hear McCorduroy say,
Hey! Who set this laser scalpel to incinerate? Well, it's not my fault. I'm a doctor, not a moil, damn it!
I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is from Anthony LaSalle of Union, New Jersey. Anthony says this is more of a memory than a question. It was probably 1983 or 84. I was on my way home from Montclair State, traveling south on the Garden State Parkway. As I approached the Bloomfield Toll Plaza, there it was. It was that infamous yellow Plymouth Valiant. There was no missing it. It had a Don't Avoid, I Watch Uncle Floyd bumper sticker. And it was yellow, as bright as the sun. You could see that car from outer space. I beeped the horn and I waved, and it looked like Artie Delmar driving it. Well, that's interesting. I don't think Artie would ever get in that car. That car was a mess inside, and Artie was not into messes like the rest of us. He kind of liked to keep it rather cleaner than most people. So it was probably Floyd driving it, 83 or 84, and it had to be Floyd driving it. Now, wait a minute, 83 or 84, that could have been Muggsy driving it. Because around that time, Floyd got a new car, and he got rid of that one. It's entirely possible that was Muggsy, not Floyd or Artie. Okay, from Ira Ratner. He has a couple of questions. He says he's from Canarsie. Did Uncle Floyd and the gang ever do the Borscht Belt? Floyd did. Floyd actually worked in the Catskills. He worked a couple of places. None of the bigger ones, some of the smaller ones. All of us, well, Floyd and I both worked in clubs outside of the Uncle Floyd show. Now, Muggsy worked in some of the bars playing guitar with his partner Andy. And Charlie played in lots of bands. He was in Dreamer. He was just in a tribute band recently that played stuff from Derek and the Dominoes. I know there's a disconnect between the timing and scope of your popularity, the demographics of the TV audience, and the decline of the Catskills, but still curious. He also says, I remember a bit that had me on the floor in hysterics. Floyd drank a 2-liter bottle of Coke straight through, like in 60 seconds. Wasn't it Mr. Grouch? No, it was not Mr. Grouch. That would have been an Eddie Slabo bit. I don't think Mr. Grouch ever tried anything like drinking a 2-liter bottle of Coke. This one is from Trumpet Man 66, who still doesn't give me his name. A celebration of Floyd's life was held for which his audience, as far as I know, was not invited. Well, there was a celebration of life that was given by a church that Floyd did some charity work where he did shows for the kids and stuff. That was open to the public. That was fairly publicized on Facebook. But there also was a family celebration of life, and obviously the public was not invited to that. Okay, would you please tell about it? No, it was a private celebration of life. I did give a eulogy. I said a few words, and it was not recorded, obviously, because it was a private family thing. He also says, will there be a Floyd estate sale? Well, there's been stuff from Floyd's collection being sold constantly. It's called the Uncle Floyd official site on eBay. That's run by one of his sons. And right now it has the memorial T-shirts for sale. It doesn't have anything else. But if anything goes on sale, that's where it will be. So check eBay, and you can get one of the official memorial shirts there. One thing about the shirts, there's a lot of rip-off shirts going on, a lot of rip-offs that are not acceptable to us. You know, just be sure. Look at the Uncle Floyd T-shirt, the red, white, and blue one, and if it says Channel 8 on it, that's the rip-off. It should say Channel 68, not Channel 8, okay? So you can tell. If you have one that says Channel 8, you gave the money to somebody else. From Tony Aiulo, from Riverdale, New Jersey. I remember the wonderful evening spent at Colucci's in Helden with Floyd at the piano. Floyd had a great group of local folks performing each week. There's a well-done documentary on Vimeo, it's also on YouTube, called A Night at Colucci's. Give a look at it, folks. It's a little more than 20 minutes long. It's a short film, but it's Floyd at the piano at Colucci's, and it shows the audience and a bunch of other people. And it's a fun watch. I think you'll enjoy it. And from Philip Scardilli Jr. Hi, Scott. Did you ever do a live show at Emmett's Inn in Jamesburg, New Jersey? Yes, we did. We did it. It was in February one year. If so, what are your recollections of the place? Well, Phil, it was cold. They had, in the dressing room in the back, there was an open hole in the floor. It was an access to the basement where they kept the beer kegs and stuff like that. And it was so cold and there was no heat down in the basement. The cold air kept coming up. It must have been like 40 degrees in that basement. Our opening act was Trigger. We shared the dressing room with them. It was so cold that every one of us in the Uncle Floyd Show cast got sick from that cold weather. As a matter of fact, I got pneumonia that year, and I think it was because of Jamesburg. So that's that story. From Stephen Gallo of Brooklyn, New York. Hi, Scott. As fans of the Uncle Floyd Show know, whether out in front or behind the scenes, you have worn many hats in your many decades in entertainment and show business. A very impressive, multifaceted career. I was wondering, is there any particular aspect of it all, out of everything you've done, that you found the most gratifying? Well, the most gratifying thing is performing in itself. Performing in itself, Steve. The reaction of the audience, the connection with the people in front of you when you're performing, you know, it's like a drug. It's our drug as entertainers. It's what we do and what we enjoy. And in the reverse, he says, is there anything you've done that you ended up not being too crazy about? Maybe discovering it just wasn't for you. Yes. My education is in chemistry. I took chemical engineering. I took chemistry. I took a lot of sciences in college. And I worked in the industry. And working with chemicals and in the chemical industry and doing that kind of stuff just wasn't for me. I threw my entire education out of the window to go back to performing, which is what I really enjoyed. So, and that's why we're here. All right. So if you have some questions you want to get in here to the Uncle Floyd podcast, just email them to me. Come directly to me. It's ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. That's ufpodcast@sge-inc.com. That comes to me. I get them. I print them out. I read them just like I did these here. And I answer the questions for you. And I hope you enjoyed my answers. And remember, every Tuesday night at 8, we have a date. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. It's theunclefloydshow.tv. Just go to theunclefloydshow.tv. They're not repeated. They're not archived. You got to be there at 8 or you don't see it. So, theunclefloydshow.tv. It costs $5, but that goes to paying for this and doing that. Believe it or not, this is quite expensive to do, to keep up all the licensing and everything else and the hosting of it that I have to pay for. So please, come and see some of the old sketches. I'm there live. You type in questions there, ask about the sketches that are on, and I'll answer them right away. Diane, my wife, sits across the table from me, and she reads me the questions. So you can come in and join us and have fun with that. And now, as I promised at the beginning of this, we're going to have a recording by Uncle Floyd. But I want to remind you, Uncle Floyd was always so very touched that you guys come and remember. One of the discussions we had in the week before Floyd passed was Floyd said to me, please, don't let them forget me. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm helping him. Please tell your friends about this. Tell them to come and listen to it. Tell them to send in questions. We'll answer them. Anything about show business, anything about technology. I'm considered to be fairly expert in entertainment technology. I can answer any questions about sound systems, lighting, stagecraft, that kind of stuff. I did stunt work. I did stunt work in some movies and some TV shows, plus the pratfalls on the Uncle Floyd show. So if you have questions, send them in. I'll be glad to answer them on any of those subjects. And remember, the most important thing to any show is you guys, the audience. Without you, this wouldn't happen. I wouldn't be doing this if you weren't here listening to it. So please tell your friends. Let's get some more people in here. Let's get some more people at Tuesday night at theunclefloydshow.tv. And here right now is Rocky Rock and Roll singing High School Dance.
Just one more dance with you before the night is through. We'll dance and dream like other lovers do at a high school dance. Just put your cheek to mine and let me know you love me all the time. School dance. Love you the most, to say the least. Woo!
This program was produced in the studios of Scott Gordon Enterprises Incorporated in Paramus, New Jersey.